she was sitting up there. I thought she just went to the what's it called where they get food at the alumni thing. She wasn't like right. Oh, no, she's like right in the middle, middle steps, like halfway up and on the right. You'll see her. Where's Daddy? Appreciate it.
She was walking through there just with the meanest argument. I'm going to let them know that we're about to start.
Oh, this is a jelly roll. That's not what I expected.
I have not had a jelly roll. Every season and every sport at every level inevitably comes down to one game. That game can be very different. It can happen at very different points. It can be the end of a regular season. It can be the end of a tournament. It can be a championship game. And when it comes to high school basketball, when that game happens is up to you. It can happen at multiple points. There are 3 different tournaments to have to play through. And fortunately here in Franklin Simpson country, the first one you automatically make it to. The 14th or the 13th district tournament. There are tournaments like the 14th, for example, where you've got to have a play-in game just to make it by virtue into that tournament. We've only got 4 teams here in the 13th district. We've whittled it down to 3 on the boys' side. After last night, the top-seeded Logan County Cougars handled their business against Todd County Central to advance to the championship game. And here tonight, the Wildcats of Franklin Simpson look to avoid back-to-back years of missing that second tournament, the Region 4 tournament inside Diddle Arena, and they face off against the team that snatched that opportunity away from them, the Russellville Panthers, who last year as the bottom seed in this 13th district tournament, hosting the tourney, took advantage of being the home team despite being the lower seed and stunned the Wildcats, who went undefeated against district teams in the regular season. I'm Tyler Eaton, joined by Tavius Babb. TB, last night the Lady Cats took care of business. They advanced to Thursday's district championship game that we now know will stunningly be against Todd County Central. We all thought it would be against Logan County, as well as they had played nearly beat Franklin Simpson here a couple weeks ago. But that just goes to show you how different things can be when you get to the district tournament. We don't need to give too many examples of that when it comes to this Franklin Simpson boys basketball team, because we saw it firsthand last year. Everything in this season, the difficult schedule to start the year, the tough road trips going down to Gatlinburg and playing an absolute gauntlet, every single bit of it has led to tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all the adversity that this team has gone through, and even adversity going into this game, has led to this moment where we've talked about throughout the course of the season, right? Closing basketball games was the biggest one. Who was going to be starting on the team was another big one, too, in the beginning portions of the season. But now we've come to this first round of the district tournament, and we're going to see if Franklin Simpson can pull off another big win against this Russellville team, who now seems to be at full strength.
And that's the dominating headline. Who is at full strength and who is it? We didn't know what Russellville was going to look like coming into this game. The first time these two teams faced off, they were at full strength, and it was a really good game here at Franklin Simpson High School. 60-53, Franklin Simpson won it. Cam Range and Kai Partinger both led the Wildcats with 15 points. Russellville's leading scorer in that game was their big man, Noah Stovall, had 18 points. He played one game after that and then proceeded after that point to miss the next 9 games in a row. And then all of a sudden, the regular season finale, he returns against Ohio County, scores 17 points, collects 9 rebounds as the Panthers pick up a stunning road win, 59-58, missing their best player, Tutu McCage. Speaking of injuries, he's missed the last 2 games. He's expected to play the night. We know Noah Stovall is going to play the night for the Panthers. They've got their 2 best players and a healthy lineup. And now all of a sudden on the other side for Franklin Simpson, a Wildcat team that ended the regular season with 4 straight wins. They win 5 of their last 6. Capped off a double-digit comeback Friday with a 68-60 double overtime win at Glasgow. Outscored the Scotties 8-0 in double overtime. You mentioned the starting lineup. They found the right pieces late in the season by inserting Brody McAllister into that starting 5, 4 guards, 1 big. That will not be the case tonight. Brody out with a concussion. He will not play tonight, will not play on Friday if Franklin Simpson is able to make it to the district championship game against Logan County. And that's a key piece to miss tonight, TB, for the Wildcats, not just offensively, where Brody had been in double figures 7 straight games, had 12 points the last time he faced off against the Russellville Panthers, but defensively, we saw the Wildcats find the formula against Russellville in their star scorer, McCage, averaging nearly 20 per game on the season, only had 15 when these two teams faced off here at Franklin Simpson High School because Brody McAllister was on him the entire second half.
Yeah, and Brody McAllister has been such a pivotal piece for this team, especially in the latter half of the season, and especially in district play. I mean, where he, in district play alone, averaging 11 points per game, averaging about 5 rebounds a game, an assist here, a couple assists there. So all around, he has been one of Franklin's most consistent pieces, averaging 61% from the field in those games. And again, it's a very tough loss to lose him in this game.
And ironically enough, it leads the Wildcats back to the starting lineup that we saw for most of the season. Cole Scherz shifts back over to the power forward spot. Senior Logan Morris at 6'3" will slot in underneath. You figure a lot of that to match up with the size of Stovall on the other side. It's going to be interesting to see how Cole adjusts in particular. He had been thriving offensively, averaging nearly 12 points per game over the last 6 games, had a career-high 18 in the game-tying jumper at the buzzer in regulation in that game against Glasgow. The Wildcats are going to need him, and they're going to need him big here tonight. Only had 7 points in the first game against Russellville, 5 points the second time around against the Panthers. It gets a little bit more clogged up with 2 bigs out there, but Cole is still going to have to find ways to find his shots.
Yeah, he's going to, both him and Logan are going to have to find a way to play well with each other on the court. Again, we haven't seen that as far as the starting lineup go in quite such a long time. Yep. And so I know that's been a point of emphasis in the talks, because this concussion for Brody just came recently. So you haven't really had a chance to work with this rotation in quite a long time. But we know Coach Spencer, we know how great of a coach he is, getting his team prepared for games like this, such a big rivalry. You know, Tyler, I was checking out the stats. I went through the archives. Since 1999, in district tournament play, Franklin Simpson and Russellville have split 20 matchups 10-10.
Wow. So 20 meetings. Each team has won 10 of them in this district tournament. And when you go back through the lineage, it's tough to know if you're like me and you came up. I graduated in 2017, so I got to saw Russellville. They were good at that point, but it's really been downhill from there. This is a Russellville team with great tradition in terms of high school basketball, and Coach Spencer got to experience that firsthand when he took over the job at Franklin Simpson back in the 2012-13 season. He went and lost his first 10 games to this Russellville team. It's a good program. He's now 20-14, meaning that since that start, he's won 20 of his last 24 against the Panthers, but one of those losses came last year in the opening round of the 13th district tournament. Tutu McCage, their star, had 21 points and 9 rebounds. Noah Stovall had 14 points. He went 10 for 13 at the free throw line, and a Russellville team that was sub 60% on the season shot 21 for 27 at the free throw stripe as a team, went 47% from the field. And really, TV, what stood out from that game is it was the emergence of Cam Ray. He had then a career-high 16 points for the Wildcats then as a junior. Then sophomore Ja'Kai Partinger was the only other player in double figures with 12. They were both in double figures when Franklin Simpson beat Russellville on their home floor. Both had 15 points. Second time around, both in double figures again. Cam had 11. Ja'Kai Partinger had, at the time, tied a career high with 21 points, went 5 for 6 from three-point range. We had seen Cam kind of operate more as a facilitator with Brody in the starting lineup, but I'm very intrigued to see what his role looks like tonight with no Brody, and fully expect Ja'Kai to be the one that picks up some of that offensive slack.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Cameron's going to have to pick up a little bit of that scoring that is left from Brody, but all in all, is going to have to continue to facilitate like he has been. We've seen him over the last 3 games. I believe is around that 24 assist mark or so. Yep. Something, give or take a couple of assists. So he has been tremendous passing the ball to the open man on this team. But again, a lot of that came from Brody being at the right place at the right time. Correct. A lot of those times.
In the stands, Samson Hightower, the star for Logan County, who came out last night, scored 27 points to lead the Cougars to a 71-42 win. The winner of this game will get Logan County in the district championship game Friday night. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out together after this. When we come back, we get you the full starting lineups. Meet this Russellville team that comes in with a record that at first might make you look away and say, well, what does Franklin Simpson have to worry about sitting at 6-20 on the season? But as the Wildcats learned last year, that does not matter when it comes to district tournament time. It's Franklin Simpson and Russellville in the 13th District Boys Basketball Tournament here on 92.3 WFKN.
Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
I don't know. They're just like, we want to partner with people. We're like, we like football. Please.
that's crazy.
Starting lineups are being announced here at Franklin Simpson High School, so let's meet them as well. First for the Russellville Panthers, in his current tenure, third-year head coach Phil Todd, who also coached the Panthers from 1990 to 2004. I always mention this with Russellville. Their court is named after Phil Todd, a 7-time district champion, 3-time region champ, led this Russellville team to being the last team not from the 14th district to win a region title. They're 6-20 on the season. Their only win, not just in the district, but in the region, coming against Todd County Central, and by an RPI tiebreaker, they earn the 3rd seed for this tournament. Tricky lineup tonight for the Panthers. We said Tutu McCage back after missing the last 2 games, averaging 19.2 points per game. He's going to come off the bench tonight for Russellville. They still have 4 guards in the starting 5. Junior Jarius Coleman, number 0, averaging 7.7 points per game, is joined in the backcourt by sophomore Jamarion Gardner, who's been in double figures in all 6 of their wins, averaging 15 points per game in those wins. Had 12 points the first game against Franklin Simpson, 0 the second time around. He's a key player to watch in this one. Tonight, TK Darden, a sophomore, also in the backcourt, averaging 5.8 points per game. And then taking the spot of McCage is Jacobian Temple Dickinson, another sophomore. He's averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds per game on the year. Then down low, the big man, Noah Stovall, the senior, averaging 10.5 points, 5.5 rebounds per game, and missed 9 straight games. But he's back, scored 17 and 9 against Ohio County in a 1-point win on Friday. Had 18 points, a season high for him against Franklin Simpson here on this floor back in January, where the Wildcats picked up one of their 9 wins on the year, 9-13 overall. They go 5-1 in the district in the regular season under 13th year head coach Dee Spencer. 191 wins in his career. He's 71-30 against this district. Slight alteration of the starting lineup that we talked about. No Brody McAllister, but it's a starting lineup that you got used to most of the season. 2 bigs, Cole Scherer and Logan Wilson for Franklin Simpson. In the backcourt is Cam Ray, Ja'Kai Partinger, and Jameer Brooks. It's Kai that goes up for the tip, and he wins it over Stovall. And the Cats have possession first in the white uniforms with the blue and gray stripes down the side, blue numbers, and in cursive, Wildcats written in blue across the chest. Kai drives left side, misses a runner, and Stovall, as we know him to do, clears the board for Russellville.
And here we see a matchup that we've been expecting. I would look for Gardner to score a lot of their points while Tutu's out.
Darden tries a three from up top, misses. Then we get a whistle after the shot. It's going to be a foul down low called against Russellville, and a quick foul against Snowball, fighting for the rebound 30 seconds into this game. And that really, we've seen for Franklin Simpson, sometimes that's the only way to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, that really is sometimes, especially how explosive he is down low.
Right side, Jameer Brooks has it for Franklin, coming off a career-high 9 against Glasgow. Cole Scherer had a career-high on that game as well, and he picks up where he left off and buries a top-of-the-key three.
And that's something to get this team going. Ball movement is going to be the way that this team can really score in bunches.
Right side drive all the way to the rack. Missing is Gardner, but he gets his own miss back out of the fray. Pulls up from the left side and hits from 6 feet. Figured, as you said and I alluded to it too, we're going to see an aggressive Jamarion Gardner here tonight.
Especially after the last game he played. I mean, I think he's looking to really find a shot.
He scored 20 in back-to-back games. Cole Scherer tries another three, missed that one short. And Logan Morris is down after the play. He's hurt. He's holding the left knee. Wildcats are already down with injuries. It's 5-on-4 for Russellville. And now the whistle finally blows as Logan Morris is down, holding his left knee. Easton Kelly will come in for him. Coach Spencer and the training staff are going to go check. As soon as he had hit the floor from trying to get that rebound, couldn't tell if he got tangled up, if he might have landed on someone's foot, but he went down clutching that left knee. He had missed a couple games earlier this season, but it wasn't serious, was able to work back in, and really Franklin Simpson had just found their rhythm with the lineup that they had, that new lineup with the 4 guards and 1 forward, and now here, TB, almost out of necessity, Franklin Simpson's going to have to revert back to that because outside of Logan, you don't really call Allen Johnson a forward. He's got the size for it, but we know he's Franklin's best three-point shooter. He's out there as a guard. Alex Eaton, who was just added to the roster, is really the only other post player that Franklin Simpson would have for the rest of this game if Logan is unable to go.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, outside of that, de facto, Cole might be that post player too. I mean, I know he's not.
That's why I say we are by default. We're going to have to go back to 4 guards, 1 big for the rest of this game.
Yeah. And I want to say that's the same knee he aggravated. I'm pretty sure he was hurt at the Todd County game in Todd County. So we hope to see him back in the game later on as the training staff checks him out.
We get back underway. 6.5 minutes left opening quarter. 3-2. Franklin Simpson leads with the Scherer three. Stovall gets it down low. Fades from 6 feet and knocks down the jumper. Beautiful move and a great score for Stovall, who doesn't flash the jumper much, but he's got good touch. Cam Ray holds it on the right wing now to Brooks up top. Jabs left, goes to work. Beat his man initially, then had it knocked away, but saves it on the baseline to Ja'Kai up top. One-on-one with Temple Dickerson, now pulls it back out to midcourt. Right side Ray, 2 minutes into the ball game, Cats trail it by 1. Hardinger, left wing, pump fake, gets inside, runner across the lane, short rebound, tipped up, and Kelly comes down with it. Looking for an option, gives to Scherer. Right side Ray, fakes the three, now steps back and resets.
And offensive rebounding, this team has been great rebounding the ball against Russellville, so this might play a big factor in multiple opportunities on the offensive end.
Speaking of rebounding, Cam coming off a team-high 8 against Glasgow. He pulls for a 3 from the left wing here, doesn't get the friendly bounce. Just to finish that up with no Logan Morris. We saw at the end of last year, Cam really emerged as a rebounder. He's going to have to crash the boards now tonight. Up top, Gardner holds, operating out of the point for Russellville. Wraps to the left side off a screen from Coleman. Now Temple Dickerson comes to get at the top of the key. Looks over at Darden, trying to get it to Stovall. He had Brooks sealed, and then Jameer grabbed him, going up to get the pass. Which the other thing we mentioned is, don't even talk about the offense. Morris was in there to deal with Stovall defensively, and now he's always going to have a size advantage.
For sure, and they're looking straight for him, too, when he gets in the post.
Stovall goes up top to Gardner. Easton Kelly is the one getting the minutes right now. The 5'11 sophomore. Stovall down low. Blocking foul called. Brooks picks up his second. Stovall gets the and one. It was a dicey play. I think a good risk to take because if you get the charge there, it's the second on Stovall. Instead now, Jameer with 2 fouls. Moore is hurt. So the Cats, by default, less than 3 minutes into this game, trailing 6-3, are down 3 starters at this point.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, that's a big play we might have to look back on later in the game. Stovall, again, doing all of his damage in the post. They're really emphasizing getting him the ball on that right block.
He's their best free throw shooter as well at 75% at the stripe. Makes it, and he's got 5 of their 7, and it's a 4-point lead early on for Russellville. Cats struggling to find answers. They've scored at least 60 in their last 3 games now. They're undefeated when they hit that mark this season. That's been the magic number 7-0 as Kai gets fouled driving in. It's either on Temple Dickerson or Stovall. They do get Temple Dickerson, and that's his first.
And we've talked about it all season long. Jakai has a very quick first step. His jab step, it seems very pure, and he doesn't do a lot of dribbling. He just knows he's really effective with his dribbling.
So Jakai will have 2 free throws. On the year, a 62% shooter, but has really improved that number as the year went on. He's been in double figures in 5 straight games, averaging nearly 16 per game over that stretch. As he buries the first of these 2 free throws, had 21 the last time these 2 teams faced off, and we've really seen him. He's cooled off a little bit from three-point range after he had that big burst of games between Russellville and South Warren where he was just striking it from everywhere. And it's going to be interesting to see now for Jakai. Do we see a bit more of the outside shot as the second free throw falls? Ball into the front court quickly. Gardner gets down low, and there to draw the charge this time is Cam Ray.
And, you know, I wish he would have done the kip-up like we talked about before the game. There was a clip of Marcus Smart doing a kip-up after taking the charge. And we were looking for it, but he didn't do it. I guess it's too early in the game maybe for that to happen. But
you know, if you add it all together, I mean, sweet chin music, sweet charge music. I mean, you get the same initials.
Exactly, yeah.
Regardless, Cats get it back off the turnover. 7-5, they trail it. 4.5 minutes left opening quarter. Kelly holds it on the left wing now up top, Partinger. Right side, Xavier Hampton in for the first time for Franklin Simpson. Gives it to Kai at the top of the key. Jabs right, back to Zay. Interestingly enough, still no 2-2 McCage for Russellville. Jakai contested 3 rattles at home. Did he get behind the line, or did they say he had a foot on it? They say he had a foot on it, so it's a deep 2, and we're tied up at 7.
Here they're 1-3-1 press, really trying to speed this team up without a primary ball handler.
And they forced the turnover. Kelly up with it, 3-on-1 the other way. Easton Kelly keeps it himself all the way to the rack, missed the layup long, and it's rebounded by Darden, who then walks with it down low, stuck between 2 defenders. Allen Johnson knew to come in. Coach Spencer turned to tell Allen to come in for a baseline inbound. Allen was already up and headed to the scorer's table, so he'll check in for Kelly.
And I think that'll be his role throughout this whole game right now. Usually we see him do kind of this back and forth in the late game scenario, but with multiple starters out, I mean, you're going to have to look for him to put up some points.
He tried to spring open but couldn't. Instead it goes to Kai on the left side. Now to Cam Ray in the corner. Gets a screen from Allen, stuck at the elbow, now pulls it back outside. Coach Spencer telling his guys to move off the ball right now. There's not much cutting going on as Allen comes to get it up top now to Kai on the wing. Cam in the corner. Allen sets an off-ball screen. Cam trapped, Allen open, right wing, triple. Off the heel, no, but Scherer. Free throw line, rebounding, goes up with it, makes the jumper, and the foul. I don't understand how he collected that rebound and shot it so quickly.
I don't get it either, but again, we talked about it. The offensive rebounding for this team is crucial, and that proved it right there with Cole. Getting the offensive rebounding and making the jump shot.
Cole's already got 5, can make it 6 with the free throw. He misses. Russellville didn't go for the rebound because Franklin was going to be called for a lane violation, and Allen Johnson makes him pay with a 3. A completely broken sequence. And a timeout is taken by Russellville. So just to clarify there, Russellville just assumed the lane violation was going to be called. But the free throw was missed, loose ball corralled out, and Franklin Simpson got a wide open offensive rebound, an easy 3-pointer because of it. And now, all of a sudden, it's 12-7 Wildcats. They're on a 9-0 run with 3:17 left in this first quarter.
I mean, and you talk about it, right? If they were to rebound the defensive rebound on that first Cole shot, or that first Allen Johnson miss, this 5-point turnaround doesn't happen. But again, it's because of the offensive rebounding by this Franklin team 3 offensive rebounds, and you could say on all 3 of those offensive rebounds, 2 of the 3, there have been points put up on the board.
Wildcats lost the rebound battle the first game against Russellville when Stovall played. They won it the second game when he didn't, albeit by just 1. And now for the first time, we do see senior guard Tutu McCage in for Russellville, leading them in points and rebounds with 19.2 and 7.8. Had double-doubles in both games against Franklin Simpson in the regular season. Let's see what the Panthers look like with their star back on the floor. Left side, Coleman has it out of the timeout to the left elbow. Down low, Stovall catches against Scherer, fakes one pass, now leaves it off to Darden on the right corner. Great defense from Cole. Up top to Coleman, now it goes onto the left side. Down low, McCage, posted against Hampton. Spins to his left, fades on the baseline, left it short, and Ja'Kai Partinger gets the rebound.
Great defensive possession by Franklin. All the rotates were perfectly aligned. No open shots and free shots, especially for Tutu, who needs to find his rhythm quickly.
And for a guard, he loves to operate out of the post. Left side, Easton Kelly back in for Franklin Simpson. Holds it on the wing, now gives it to Kai in the corner. Kelly sets him a screen. Ja'Kai, step back 3. It's short, long rebound is going to go out of bounds in the far side corner. Cats have already struck twice from 3-point range in this one. Overall, the efficiency has been encouraging when you consider that last year in the district tournament, Franklin took 20 more shots than Russellville, but shot just 32% from the floor and 4 for 15 from 3. Off the inbound, it was an immediate sprint down from Darden, who then left it for McCage, and he missed a wide-open 5-foot jumper.
Yeah, I mean, it was 1-on-3 with Cameron down low, and somehow he ends up with the ball on the defensive rebound.
Ray, one-on-one with Coleman, gets inside to the right block, and a foul is called on the drive.
And there he goes, the free throw merchant. It looks like it's going to be.
They are going to give it. I didn't know if they would give it to him in the act of shooting. I thought it should be. It was one of those kind of dicey ones. But Cam will take 2 free throws. He's taken double-digit free throws 3 times this season. Did so against Glasgow. Went 7 for 10 with his 15 points. And his first of these 2 free throws left short. He's lost his team lead in free throw percentage. Shooting 70% on the season. Cole has taken that spot from him. He's now at 71%. We talked about what Franklin would have to do with the size disparity. So Scherer comes out, and Alex Eaton, the sophomore, making just his 4th appearance, joined this team maybe 2/3 of the way through the season, checks in. Easton Kelly comes out, Kamari Phillips in as well for the Wildcats. And for now, obviously the Cats are going to try to set up their 1-3-1 defensively, but when they settle into the half court, it will be fascinating to see what they try to do with Stovall. And right now, TB, Cam is at the bottom of that 1-3-1. McCage, right side, leaves to Stovall. Guarded by Eaton, pulls for a jumper, missed it long, and Ja'Kai gets another rebound. Alex 1 for 1 on good defense. As Kai on the right wing sends it into the corner. Xavier beats his man, cross court. Kamari Phillips open for 3. He swished it!
And we've talked about it, that the role players of this team are really going to have to step up big, especially with players being out. And that's what's happening right now with both Kamari and Alex.
Kamari made a 3 in the win at Russellville, and all of a sudden it's 16-7. Make this, for Franklin Simpson, a 13-0 run. From up top, Gardner gets inside. He's fouled by Hampton and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
A hard foul. And I mean, you don't mind that per se, especially, Xavier Hampton, he plays the game smart on defense. He's not going to pick up many fouls throughout the game, and so you don't mind to kind of slow down this Russellville team, especially in the half court.
So Gardner will take 2 free throws. He actually on a team with Tutu McCage, who gets to the line as much as he does, leads this team in attempts per game at 5, a 61% shooter at the stripe. Makes the first of these 2 as Eaton will check out Scherer right back in. Alan Johnson in for the Wildcats as well, joined by Cambray, Hampton, and Kamari Phillips.
Got some blood, I think, on his elbow.
And Jarius Coleman has blood on the elbow, so he's going to have to check out, and momentarily LeBron Nurse will take his spot. The lead is 16-8 for Franklin Simpson with 1:09 left in this opening quarter. If you're just now joining us, the Wildcats not only without Brody McAllister, which they knew would be the case coming into the game with a concussion, but now without Logan Morris, who went down with a knee injury a minute and a half into this ball game. Gardner makes both free throws, and it's now 16-9 Franklin Simpson with a minute left in the first quarter. Scherer right side now to Ray up top. Nurse steers him down. Man-to-man defense right now for Russellville. Johnson comes up high to set a screen and is immediately waved off by Cam, who is back at midcourt chewing some clock. Nurse now comes out to pressure, and it goes over to Phillips. Now to Johnson up top. Right side, Scherer. Russellville showing a trap now. Phillips gets it on the elbow, lost it on a drive. Panthers come up with it momentarily. Hampton knocks it away, but it does end up with Darden. He has it knocked away again. Once again, it was Zay, and the Wildcats get it back. They'll have free throws as well with the foul in the bonus here for the final 25 seconds of the quarter. And the officials had to check now. They're going to wave the Wildcats to the free throw line. We'll see who it was that got fouled. Are we going to see some Alan Johnson free throws?
I mean, the last few games of the season has been a unicorn for Alan Johnson with the 2-point shots, now free throws. And
he's 4 for 6 at the line this season. Make it 5 for 7.
But, you know, to go back on Xavier Hampton, again, I've talked about it over and over. He is such a smart player defensively. He does not foul. He is great at stealing the ball. That's why in this district he averages a couple steals a game.
Second free throw doesn't get the bounce for Johnson, and the Cats have to defend for 20 seconds, up 17-9 until a whistle blows.
Oh, they might get some free throws for that. That might be a tech. Because I think Jakai was on the court since they missed the free throw. And
we had 3 Wildcats in front of us that were set to check in, and like you said, Jakai stepped into the court of play, and he gets a technical foul for it. And so there will be 2 free throws for Russellville, and then they'll get the ball with 20.6 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Cats had played nearly flawlessly since going down 7-3 early. But here Gardner will get a chance at 2 free points. The first one goes around the world and in.
I guess I'm a little confused because, I mean, I'm really looking. Are there only 4 Cats on the floor?
There's 5.
Who is there?
Well, one had come out already.
Okay, I didn't know who subbed. I didn't know who already subbed out. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's.
Now Johnson comes out. He wasn't supposed to come out. The Wildcats, like you said, only had 4 players on the floor during that free throw. Kamari Phillips thought he was the one that was going to come out. Then Alan Johnson thought he was the one that was coming out. But it was neither of them, and they both needed to be on the floor. And the Wildcats, after the second free throw falls for Gardner, see their lead down to 7. Gardner holds it in the right corner, now sends it up to Darden. Or excuse me, now 17-11, just a 6-point game. McCage, right side, 5 seconds left in the quarter. Guarded by Ray, steps back, right side, mid-range jumper, missed short. Rebound batted around, and that will bring the quarter to a close. Franklin Simpson gives some points away at the end of the quarter, but they use a 13-0 run to flip a 7-3 deficit early on and help turn it into a 17-11 lead at the end of the opening quarter. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball on 92.3 WFKN.
We've been with Franklin Bank since '92 because we trust them.
Franklin was a great fit to help build a team and a culture that just kind of resonated with both of us.
They took a chance on us.
It's not a banking relationship, it's a personal relationship.
That's the most important thing to me about doing business with a bank is to have trust and faith in the people you're dealing with. And the people at Franklin Bank do every bit that needs to be done to give me that feeling.
Cam split his free throws, that's what it was. 17-11 is the Franklin Simpson lead over Russellville as we get set for the second quarter of play. Cats used a 13-0 run to make up for the fact that not only they got off to a slow start, but they're without Logan Morris and Brody McAllister right now. No indications of Logan being able to return, at least as of this point. As we get back underway, Russellville has possession left side. Jarius Coleman fires up a three. Missed it long. Darden tips the ball, but Hampton pulls it down for the Wildcats. Here comes Cam Ray the other way. Hands to Cole Scherer on the wing. Guarded by Noah Stovall. Had 5 early on for the Panthers, but has gone quiet since then. Scherer left wing, jabs, drives, goes right at Stovall, now kicks it out to Hampton for a catch-and-shoot three. It's off the heel, and it's rebounded by Coleman. He has it knocked away by Ray, but gets it back quickly and gives to Darden to bring it across half court. Down low, Stovall quickly fades over Scherer, can't hit. McCage, though, saves it to Coleman. He has it ripped away, gets it back outside Darden for three. Missed long, but the rebound is pulled down by Gardner at the elbow. Flips up a runner, another miss, another offensive rebound. Stovall gets the putback to go, but he's fouled on the floor, and the Panthers will inbound underneath.
And how the offensive rebounding just flipped in this game. I mean, I want to say that was 3 offensive rebounds in a row. And, I mean, again, you play decent defense in the possession, but if you give up the rebounds, it all goes to waste.
Inbound will come in from underneath. Beautiful find as Stovall was able to hit a cutting Darden, who finishes on the block. His first bucket and the first points for somebody that's not Jamarion Gardner or Noah Stovall. 2-2 McCage scoreless in that opening quarter, but his Panthers have cut the Franklin Simpson lead down to 4. 17-13, minute and a half in to this second quarter.
And a lot of that due to the free throw shooting by this Russellville team that has been near perfect.
Which is what they do. They get to the line nearly 20 times per game this season. Partinger stuck on the baseline, tries to give to Scherer, but it's whipped away by Darden. And then do we get a foul against Cole as well? We do. So he's got 2 fouls. Jameer Brooks have 2 fouls. Cats have 2 injuries. And all of a sudden, Coach Spencer's going to have to take a timeout to try to figure out how to piece together this puzzle. 17-13 Wildcats lead it with 6:22 left in the second quarter. Brought to you by Wilkins Eye Care. Wilkins Eye Care, we love the Wildcats and support all the players and coaches eye care needs. We are accepting new patients, so call us at 270-776-2020 to make an appointment with Wilkins.
Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to some of the old heads in the family today that played in some of these Dust Bowls in Russellville. There would be players from Franklin Simpson representing Franklin Simpson to go play players from Russellville, players from Bowling Green. And so, I mean, this history goes decades and decades back.
Cole Scherer is going to stay in with his 2 fouls out of the timeout as the Wildcats are on defense, up by only 4. Gardner, top of the key 3. It's a 1-point game.
And I think you get out of the zone. You don't want this team to get hot from 3.
Here's the incredible thing. Franklin Simpson went on a 13-0 run. Now Russellville has countered that with their own 9-1 run. You said this series all time has been a series of runs. This game has been a series of runs. Partinger, right wing, gives to Ray. Russellville trapping on both wings now. It leaves Kai open on the right side, misses the 3. Hampton pulls down a contested rebound, and then he's fouled on the floor by Darden. Great job by Zay to go up strong and hang on to that rebound.
Yeah, and he's kind of playing that role of a Brody, being at the right place at the right time. We were going to need that offensive rebounding. We said a lot of that was going to have to come from, Cameron and Cole and Jakai, but Xavier has really stepped up in this game defensively and offensively on the glass.
Kamari Phillips comes out, Allen Johnson in. Noah Stovall will get a breather as well for Russellville as Nurse comes back in for him guarding Scherer. Cam to inbound on the baseline, checks his options and just throws it in up top to Jakai Partinger. Left side over to Xavier Hampton. The sophomore averaging 2.3 points per game on the year, gives to Scherer for a left elbow jumper, and he knocks it down again. Cole's got a team-high 7.
And he is great coming off the dribble, kind of taking a dribble or 2 and pulling up from the free throw line, the elbow adjacent. I mean, he is really come into his stride shooting the ball over the past couple games.
19-16 now, 5:10 left before halftime. McCage gets away from Sheriff for a moment, now sends it out on the wing. Right side, Gardner wants another three. He is feeling it here tonight. They get back-to-back triples for Gardner, and he's up to 12 points. I said he's been in double figures in every game they've won this season. He'd scored 20 in back-to-back without Tutu McCage playing, and he's brought that over into this ball game. We're tied up at 19. Hampton in the corner, crosses over to try to get away from Coleman on the baseline, couldn't escape and had to force up a contested fadeaway teardrop, missed it short, and now Russellville gets it back with a chance to take the lead. Gardner directing traffic, guarded by Ray up top.
They've come out of that zone back into man-to-man.
Lowe goes on the left wing to Darden. Now up top, Nurse sends it on the right side, Coleman. They're trying to isolate down low with McCage. Instead, Coleman fires a three, missing. The Cats give up another offensive rebound. Wide open is Gardner. Can't make a third straight. A rebound tipped up high. Ja'Kai tries to pinpoint it. Lost it, but Allen Johnson comes away with it. Here comes Ray operating quickly. Inside, kick out, wide open three for Hampton. Bang!
And he knew that shot was going in as soon as it left his fingers. He was already jumping down the court.
That felt like one the Cats needed. Russellville has the momentum here in the second quarter, and TB, so much of it has been rebounding, which we saw Franklin Simpson get the big swing early on offensive rebounding, and Russellville has totally flipped that here in this quarter. McCage gets it up top, guarded by Partinger. Left side, takes a long two-point jumper, missed well short, but the rebound is picked up by Coleman down low. Tries to leave from McCage, but he lost it. Hampton to Scherer in transition, behind the back dribble, and he scores! Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Talk about a flashy play. It wasn't completely pretty, but he got the job done.
That's the first time he's done a behind the back dribble this season, and he saves it for that spot. Thanks, Cole.
And a big moment there to extend this lead.
24-19. Coleman tries again from the left wing. Misses. McCage had an opportunity at the rebound, would have had it, but he was fouled from behind by Xavier Hampton.
And the trend we're seeing here for Russellville, of their last 6 shots they've taken, all of them have been threes.
And if you're Franklin Simpson, you were content with that. Russellville on the season is just a 24% three-point shooting team. They went 5 for 18 the first time against Franklin Simpson, just 2 for 15 the second time around. As Scherer is going to get a much-deserved breather, Hampton comes out as well. Eaton and Easton Kelly into the ball game. Right side, off the dribble, Gardner gets around Johnson, tries to block the shot from behind. He thought he had it cleanly, but a foul is called. And 2 free throws are on the way for Jamarion Gardner, who has been the heartbeat so far for Russellville. And TB, it's clear to me, we talked about this before the game. Where would Tutu McCage be at? Missing the last 2 games before this one. He is not at full speed. He's going to play, and he's going to play a lot. He is not at full speed. They're using him down in the post. They're using him as a decoy a bit. And it's clear that the offense is going to run through Gardner. And Noah Stovall will come back out of the game for Russellville. And I'll tell you this, TB, as Nurse took his spot, Stovall was visibly frustrated that he was coming out. He wants to stay in this game.
Yeah, he was. And as Gardner misses, uncharacteristically missed both of them. You know, that 20 points against Ohio County last game for them has really boosted his confidence.
Gardner's been on fire. Ray the other way, spins inside, gets 2 defenders in the air, and he's fouled. 2 free throws on the way for Cam Ray.
You know, basketball is a game of runs. You're gonna take a punch. You're gonna receive a punch. You know, the boxing analogy is just perfect always. I'll bring that up constantly. And right now, Franklin Simpson weathered that storm from Russellville. If they can close out this quarter, as Cameron makes the first 2, if they can close out this quarter, the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of just playing just solid basketball, matching up with Russellville, I mean, they're looking really good right now.
Stovall does come right back in for Russellville. I think they're a strategic move for Coach Phil Todd because he saw Cole Scherer come out for Franklin Simpson as Alex Eaton is back in. Ray makes the second free throw. He's got 3 points all at the line tonight. Xavier Hampton will come in defensively for Allen Johnson with 2:41 left before halftime. The Cats have weathered the storm, and the lead is back up to 7, 26-19. By the way, on that foul against Cam, Gardner picked up his second. Here comes Gardner on the right side, leaves it off for Stovall, who scores with ease on the right block.
And that's just a pitch-perfect press beater, ball moving without dribbling.
Ray gets stuck at the free throw line, now gives it to Kelly. Into the corner. Hampton wants another three. He gets another three. Zay's got 6 all of a sudden. And those are the performances you need when you're missing not just players, but key players. On the other end, Gardner goes into Ray. Do we get another charge? We do. And that's the 3rd on Gardner.
And I think Cameron might have flopped a little bit on that charge, but again, we'll take it. I mean, he's really good at selling those charges. He gets
You mentioned earlier that it would have been nice to see him take the charge and then do the kip up. There's going to be maybe 20% of our audience that knows what I'm talking about when I say this. The other 80%, it's okay, we'll move on from it quickly. The kip up, the heartbreak hit, Shawn Michaels. What was he really good at, TB? Selling. That was a Shawn Michaels level sell job.
Yes, it was.
As Cam brings it across half court, staring into the Russellville extended pressure. Cats have answered extremely well from the initial run from the Panthers. Kai, left wing, off the dribble, wide open 12-foot jumper. Nobody came out to guard him, and he buries it. Kai's now got 6.
And smartly, Coach Spencer has said, call off the press. We're going straight man-to-man in the half-court defense, which has worked for them throughout the most of the game.
And the lead is swelled to 10, 31-21 with a minute and a half left before halftime. Stovall up top. Sends it over on the left wing. Temple Dickerson thought about a triple, instead goes back to Stovall.
Cameron was baiting him. He was really sagging off him, trying to get him to shoot.
This offense a bit more discombobulated with no Gardner right now. McCage fires from the top of the key, missed it short over Partinger, and Scherer gets the rebound. Ray holds up with a minute left on the clock.
And this is that kind of possession that if Franklin can score again, I mean, they really seize control of this game.
Partinger back to Ray. They've wasted 10 seconds off this clock. Just passing it back and forth from left to right. Now Cam holds it at midcourt. Russellville, at least for now, not going to force the issue in their own 1-3-1 zone. Now they bring some pressure up top with Darden against Cam with 30 seconds left before halftime. Goes over to Kai, and Cam and Kai will just pass this back and forth until it's time to initiate the offense.
And I think if you're Franklin, you attack the left side because you have Xavier, who's been hot, but then you also have Tutu, who isn't 100%, probably can't move as well as he can.
And if they help off the weak side, Allen's open in that corner. Cam to Kai, 8 seconds left. He fires into the right corner. Johnson off the dribble. He flows up a runner. Missed it. Jakai had a chance at the offensive rebound, couldn't control it. With 1.4 seconds left before halftime, Eaton and Kelly will quickly check in for Johnson and Scherer. The Cats have done a good job of not letting Cole pick up a 3rd foul. Stovall will inbound underneath. Just gives it to Darden, able to get a couple steps, fire in from just beyond half court, and misses it long. Russellville came back to tie this game up after the Cats were up by 6 after the opening quarter, but Franklin Simpson returned, and they now lead at 31-21. The Wildcats looking to punch their ticket to the 4th region tournament as well as the 13th district title game on Friday night. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you all the stats from this opening half and piece together what the Wildcats need to do. They are facing all the odds here tonight to keep this lead intact and find their way back to Diddle Arena after coming up short thanks to the loss at Russellville last year. Again, your score at the half, 31-21. Franklin Simpson leads it here on 92.3 WFKM.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
Halftime here at Franklin Simpson High School. We're at the break. The Wildcats leading 31-21 over Russellville in the opening game of the 13th District Boys Basketball Tournament. After that second quarter, brought to you by Wilkins Eye Care. Wilkins Eye Care, we love the Wildcats and support all the players and coaches' eye care needs. We are accepting new patients, so call us at 270-776-2020 to make an appointment with Wilkins Eye Care in Franklin. Tyler Eaton and Tavius Babb with you. And TB, we saw Franklin Simpson come out and throw the second big punch in this game. Russellville started out strong, up 7-3. Cats go on that big 13-0 run. Russellville really fires back between the end of the first quarter and the start of the second quarter. We were tied up at 19 apiece, and fast forward to now, and Franklin Simpson all of a sudden has opened this up to a 31-21 lead. Fantastic response all around, and we're seeing multiple role players step up. In particular, how about Xavier Hampton with a couple of threes there in that second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, two big threes back-to-back, and, I mean, he was just on fire. This team, honestly, the game shifted in Russellville's favor when they started getting control of the offensive glass in that second quarter alone. They had 5 offensive rebounds, but most of that came in the beginning part of that quarter, and then Franklin Simpson settled in. They got their defense set, going back to that man-to-man, getting away from the zone, and then that's when they started to take control.
And really the big blow for Russellville came when Jamarion Gardner picked up his third foul. He's been most of their offense. He's got 12 of their 21 points. It feels strange to see a Russellville team, and you're talking about somebody carrying the offense, and it's not a Tutu McCage, and it's not a Noah Stovall, but Gardner is more than capable, averaging 10.3 points per game. Again, 20 points their last 2 games. Tutu McCage missed both of those games. He's playing tonight for Russellville. Didn't start. He's clearly not fully back at 100% for the Panthers, has his knee taped up. And the Wildcats nowhere near 100%. Already without Brody McAllister coming into this game. Logan Morris, the senior, takes his spot in the starting lineup. He goes down with a knee injury for a minute and a half in. We have not seen him since then. We've seen more minutes than usual for Easton Kelly, who I think has done a really good job of not letting anything slip. He hasn't made the big mistakes. Same can be applied to Alex Eaton. Kamari Phillips comes in. He hits a 3. It's been the role players, and again, TB, what stands out to me, and it's the biggest parallel to look at between the 2 regular season games, I look back in the game that Franklin played at Russellville, where the Wildcats tied their season high with 9 3-pointers, and Allen Johnson in that game, who was Franklin Simpson's best 3-point shooter, didn't even attempt one. It was everybody else pouring it in from 3-point range, and tonight it's been the same way. Already 5 3-pointers made for the Wildcats, and so far in this one, I mean, Allen has 1, but normally if you're looking at a 5 3-point first half for Franklin Simpson, you're thinking either Allen or Jakai would have had to make 3 of them.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is that this has been an all-around team performance on both ends of the ball. This team right now is shooting the ball so efficiently, shooting 50% from the field, 10 for 20, and from 3, 5 for 11. So 45% from the 3, 50% from the field. And, I mean, what all can you say about this team that has really came to play against this Russellville squad who are right now fighting for their lives in this game?
And, again, barely shot over 30% when falling to Russellville in the opening round of the district tournament last year. 59-54. The Panthers won it on their home floor. Tutu McCage had 21 points and 9 rebounds in that game. In this opening half, he goes scoreless for the Panthers. Noah Stovall with 7. Jamarion Gardner with that 12. Had 6 in the opening quarter, 6 in the second quarter with a couple of threes. TK Darden has the only other 2 for the Panthers. Meanwhile, for a second straight game, leading the Wildcats in scoring is Cole Scherer. Started the game out of position, was moved back to power forward, gets back into his normal spot at center out of necessity, and he's picked up right where he left off. Had 18 points against Glasgow. Granted, in that one, TB, the amazing part is he only had 3 in the first half. He exploded for 9 in the fourth quarter, which included that game-tying shot. He is just playing with so much confidence right now.
And it's at the best time, too. I mean, you know, sometimes we've seen teams, especially teams sometimes have an easier schedule in the beginning of the season, and they'll get hot and they'll go a little streaky, but then towards the end of the season when the schedule kind of tightens up, you play within your district and you kind of choke up a little bit. It's been the opposite for Cole and for this Franklin Simpson team, where they have really come on as a top contender outside of that Logan County loss, that first Logan County game. Yep. Since then, from that point, this team has really been firing on all cylinders.
The winner of this game advances to take on Logan County on Friday night. The Lady Cats have already punched their ticket to take on Todd County Central, who me and you watched earlier, beat Logan County in a game that came down to the wire. The Lady Cougars got down big early on and couldn't quite come back to complete what would have been a win that we expected coming in. We fully thought it was going to be Logan County and Franklin Simpson round 2 after the Lady Cats only escaped by 3. They were down by 9 in the third quarter the first time around, or the first time these two teams played on this floor after dominating Logan County on their court. And, well, the Cougars of Logan County had the opposite happen. They dominated Franklin Simpson on their home floor, and then they come to Franklin Simpson. The Wildcats don't just flip around a 30-point loss into a close game. They turn it into a win. Franklin Simpson, 4 straight wins to end the regular season. They win 5 of their last 6 coming into this district tournament. They're peaking at the right time. And tonight, TB, they've gotten it done with just 6 points in the first half from Ja'Kai Partinger, only 3 from Cam Ray. 3, again, a big 3 from Kamari Phillips. You get 4 from Alan Johnson. The bench unit has done their job so far in this game after in the Glasgow game, the starting lineup scored 64 of the 68 points. It has been forced to be more of a well-rounded effort here tonight. And I think the more encouraging thing besides just the offense is it's been a team effort on the defensive side as well. Obviously, you want to get some more of those rebounds, but it has been all hands on deck trying to defend against Stovall down there in the post.
Yeah, I mean, this team has done a great job taking charges down low. Again, outside of when they were in the zone, you know, Russellville kind of found their way.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the game, they were really pushing for Stovall down the block, but they've really gotten them out of that, playing, honestly, a style of gameplay that they don't want to play. Russellville, that is, shooting a lot of three-point shots. And, I mean, again, not really connecting. Only made 2 so far in the game, shooting 2 for 12 in the first half. If you're Franklin Simpson and you keep up this kind of a defensive efficiency, making Russellville shoot the ball 7 for 23 in the first half, I mean, you're looking at a really comfortable win.
So as we get set for this second half, the Wildcats have a 31-21 lead heading into this third quarter that's brought to you tonight, as it has all season long, by Clark CPA and Advisory Group. As a former athlete at FSHS, Tanner Clark knows a thing or two about basketball and a thing or two about money, tax questions, or issues that you need consultation for, need bookkeeping or payroll done. Tanner and his team do it all. Call them at 270-586-9899 or pay them a visit at 927 Brookhaven Road in Franklin. It will be Ja'Kai Partinger, Cam Ray, Jameer Brooks, Alan Johnson, and Cole Scherer on the floor for Franklin Simpson. So Alan is the one that takes the starting spot without Logan Morris, who was already filling in for Brody McAllister. Russellville is going to keep their same starting 5 that we saw to begin the game, with Jarius Coleman, TK Darden, Jamarion Gardner, Jacobian Temple Dickerson on the wings, and then Noah Stovall as the lone big. So again, Tutu McCage will come off the bench, and actually one change as we see them come out of this. They're going to bring Gardner off the bench as well with his 2 fouls, and it's LeBrian Nurse, the backup guard, getting the start. Franklin Simpson has possession first to start the second half. Cole Scherer tries a contested jumper against Stovall. It misses, and here come the Panthers the other way. Stovall on the block. He's going to be the entire offense. Drives into Scherer. Who's the foul on? Is it against Cole or against Stovall? They call it against Cole, who got elbowed for his trouble and picks up his 3rd foul as Stovall gets an and one opportunity, despite Cole taking that one square to the face.
Yeah, I mean, that elbow definitely went straight through the nose. He was down for a second. Fortunate call for Russellville, and I mean, a good way for them to start the quarter, getting a couple easy buckets right there.
And it's trouble for Franklin Simpson. When you talk about injuries, the other thing that becomes a factor is foul trouble. Cole's got 3. Zay and Jameer have 2. Stovall makes the free throw. He's into double figures with 10. And it's now 31-24. Scherer left side 3, missed it long. And it's rebounded on the baseline by Russellville. Thought it was rebounded. Guess they let it go out. And now quickly Jamarion Gardner is going to check back in for the Panthers, and Nurse will check out. He lasted all of 42 seconds on the bench. And I think that, again, strategically from Phil Todd, knowing Scherer's got the 3 fouls, he might look for him to try to attack.
Might try to get a switch going.
Just get him going downhill. Defended by Partinger. Got to stay in front. Cole, good job of defending against Stovall on the post. Tips an entry pass. It goes to Coleman. Gardner fakes a couple threes. Looks down low. Now gives it off to Stovall in the corner. On the right elbow, Darden against Ray. Lost it on a spin move, and Ja'Kai Partinger has it. To Scherer, left side. Cole all the way to the rack. Tried to spike it with one hand, but the dunk flies up into the air and hits the strap off the stanchion and will go back to Russellville.
And that's a tough one to call. Do you want him just to lay it up, or I mean, if he punches that home, I mean, you get kind of all that momentum and adrenaline going.
On the other side of it is the confidence that he's been playing with. I don't want Cole to lose any of that aggression, even if that means a missed dunk. Now, you do want the 2 points with the lead down to 7 as Gardner fires up a 3, missed it long, and Ray, he's fouled from behind by Coleman going up for the rebound.
And that's something Cameron has done excellent this game, of just being in position to get these rebounds. Again, as one of the smallest players on the court, he seems like he's always actively fighting for these rebounds.
Averages around 3 per game, but that number has ticked up, especially after the 8-rebound performance against Glasgow on Friday. Cam wraps around a screen, gives it up to Scher at the free throw line, steps inside and fires up a 10-footer. He was smothered by Gardner and didn't care.
And it's good to see him, again, just be aggressive even after the missed dunk and the elbow to the face, not to be in his own head.
You want him to just keep shooting. Down low, open layup. Good job by Temple Dickerson to get inside, and Scherer couldn't help too aggressively with his foul trouble. And it's back to a 7-point game, 33-26 with 5:40 left in the third quarter. Kai spins around Temple Dickerson, tries a fadeaway jumper, missed it long, and it's rebounded by Darden. Gardner brings it up the left side, now holds deep on the wing as Ray waits for him 4 feet off the three-point line. Bounce pass to Stovall. Little fadeaway hook over Scherer, falls. The bigs are battling here in this second half, and it's a 5-point game, 33-28.
And they've really slowed the pace down. Russellville has really playing in their favor right now.
Ball in the left corner. Now it goes to Allen Johnson up top. Kai went to get it, but it was to Cam. Cole Scherer's left alone for a left wing 3. He swishes it home. Stovall got stuck on a screen. Nobody picked him up, and Cole Scherer's up to 14 points. Timeout called. Franklin Simpson takes a quick one, up 36-28 with 4:56 left in this third quarter, brought to you by Clark CPA and Advisory Group at 927 Brookhaven Road in Franklin. Tanner Clark and his team do it all. Call them at 270-586-9899. Tyler Eaton and Tavius Babb with you courtside from Frank Cardwell Court. This has been a game that at certain points it felt like each team was on the verge of a run. If you're Franklin Simpson, to put this game away. If you're Russellville, to go on that run and swing it back into your favor. But I think the most fascinating part about it is that every time that one run has happened, it's not like things have really stalled. It's just been run after run from each side. Both teams have had the answer. The problem for Russellville, this lead has remained intact for Franklin Simpson.
And it seems like every time Russellville did go on that run, Franklin would just punch back with a timely 3 from either was Xavier, from Kamari, from Cole. And I mean, Cole, talk about him, 6 for 10 from the field in this game so far, 2 for 4 from 3. He is just playing really outstanding offensive basketball.
Down low, Stovall gets away from Scherer out of the timeout. Missed the open layup, though, and they say the rebound is out off of Stovall as well. He did a great job of sealing off Scherer down low. The entry pass was perfect as well, just couldn't make the layup. And it goes back to Franklin Simpson, still leading 36-28.
And I will give Allen Johnson credit. I mean, he did jump up and try to contest that too. He's not usually the premier defender on this team, but he does give maximum effort when he is on defense.
And there he did a really good job of contesting the rebound.
Exactly, yeah.
Ray into the left corner, Johnson to Kai on the left wing. Tried to wrap it around to the right side and lost it. Got it back, flips it on the baseline for Ray. Ball fake, double team, wraps around the lane to Scherer. Mid-range jumper, rattles off. Rebound is lost down low. Was it touched by Brooks? No, it's out of bounds off of Temple Dickerson. He let it go out of bounds because he thought it was off of Jameer.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he touched the ball last, kind of pushed it out of bounds. And again, I thought Cole was going to drop that shot in real quick.
He's got 5 in the quarter for Franklin Simpson. Gets the inbound, tried to slam it home again, came up short, but Cam Ray comes away with the basketball. Johnson, 4 feet off the top of the key. Missed long, and the rebound is collected by Temple Dickerson. Cole is he is hunting this dunk. Now that one was well contested by Stovall.
Yeah, that was a little more ambitious for sure.
Darden to Gardner, fakes a 3, picked up by Ray, gets to the elbow, now swings it up top. Right side, it ends up with Coleman. Johnson all over him. Back to the top of the key, Temple Dickerson's 3 off the mark, and Ja'Kai Partinger keeps clearing the boards for Franklin Simpson. Kai brings it up in transition, tried to leave it for Brooks, but it's deflected and stolen back by Temple Dickerson. Wild dribble all the way to the rim. Cam Ray takes it away from him, and they call a foul. It looked like he practically handed that ball to Cam. And instead they get the foul on Cole. They signal that foul's on Cole Scherer, and that's his fourth. Cole can't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't see where Cole was on the play because, I was focused on Cameron literally just took the ball like he was handing, like Gardner was,
it looked like a handoff from a quarterback to the running back. And now Cole's going to have to come out. Easton Kelly takes his spot. First free throw good for Temple Dickerson. Scherer has all 5 in the quarter for the Wildcats, who are now going to function with 5 guards.
And I'd be surprised to see him if he comes back in the game the rest of this quarter. And that's huge for Russellville because Cole has been lighting it up on the offensive end.
And now Russellville is going to take advantage with size. They bring McCage in for the first time in the quarter. He and Stovall, are going to go to work in the post for the Panthers, who have cut the lead down to 6. 36-20. Temple Dickerson makes the 2 free throws. They've outscored Franklin Simpson 9-5 in the quarter. Cats reeling with injuries and foul trouble. Can they respond again? Ja'Kai Partinger left side to Cam Ray. Puts it on the floor to the elbow. Easton Kelly, long 2-point jumper. It's perfect! That looked like Cole Scherer.
And we talked about it. These role players have to step up, especially in foul trouble, and that's exactly what they're doing.
38-30, Cats lead it after the bucket from Easton Kelly. Made a 3-pointer when these two teams met here. Second game only had a point. Up top, Darden gives it up into the corner. Johnson deflects the entry pass to McCage and comes up with the steal. It's not just role players, it's key players doing things that are outside of what they normally do too.
And that's what you do when you step up in big moments, is you just do what the teams need.
Ja'Kai double team, escapes with the dribble, gives to Kelly. Right corner, Cam Ray. Surveys. Now puts it with a left-handed dribble. Gets a screen from Johnson. Bursts inside through the defense. And they call it travel.
I'm surprised. It definitely looked like he only took 2 steps, and there was contact too. I'm not, again, the calls right now, it seems to be kind of a little wishy-washy, but nevertheless, Franklin, again, staying within that Russellville punch, not letting Russellville just really eat into this lead.
38-30, 2:10 left in the quarter. Wildcats now in a 2-3 zone. We saw Russellville have some more success going against this, but basically out of necessity, I think this is what Franklin Simpson has to do, is Stovall gets it on the block and fades and scores over Partinger. He's got 7 in this third quarter, 14 for the ball game. It was the second half that he played so well in the game that he played against Franklin Simpson on this floor. He had 6 points in the first half, 12 in the second half. Kai on the elbow, double team. Now Wisely brings it back out to midcourt. Right side, Kelly. Stovall's on him. Minute 35 left in the quarter. To Cam on the block, deflected out, and Franklin Simpson will keep it for a baseline inbound.
I think Franklin needs to settle in on this possession and really take their time and find a good look.
Cam will be the one to trigger it as LeBron Nurse checks back in. Gardner comes out. Jamarion Gardner's done a great job of playing with his 3 fouls. TK Darden's going to come back in. Coleman out. And a big noticeable change here in this second half, TB, is we've seen much more of Stovall. He has hardly left the floor.
Especially in that zone, they're looking for him down low.
Kelly off an off-ball screen, missed the 3, long rebound, still being bobbled. Up with it at first was Temple Dickerson, but then he threw it away straight to Allen Johnson. Just a panic pass from down on the floor. Cam Ray, left wing, drives in all the way to the rack, adjusts mid-hair, and scores.
And that's what we like to see when Cole's out. Cameron starting to be more aggressive, attacking the rim.
40-32, lead is back at 8. Under a minute left in the quarter, McCage drives baseline. He's trapped. He missed it off the bottom of the backboard. Off to Ray, wraps through 2 defenders on a crossover. Beats another one at the elbow, and he's bumped there.
And again, go back on that last defensive possession. Easton Kelly coming up big with a great defensive stop and securing the rebound. I mean, if you're Franklin Simpson, you're ending off the quarter right now as well as you can.
50 seconds left. Kai leaps to get the inbound. McCage knocks it away from him, and it goes back to Russellville. Ball was lost by Darden, but got it back and sends it up to McCage in the right corner. Now gets it back on the wing. They work it into the left corner. Temple Dickerson. Down low, Stovall had it knocked away on the entry, and Brooks up with it. Stovall fouls him out of frustration. And that's his third. He's got 3. Gardner has 3. Temple Dickerson has 3. For Franklin Simpson, there was trouble with Brooks and Hampton with 2 in the first half. They've avoided that here in the second half. And Cole with his 4 fouls are the issue right now. He sits on the bench with Franklin Simpson walking it up with 22 seconds left in the third quarter, up 40-32. Ray deep on the left wing, guarded by Nurse. Just trying to waste clock until the Cats set up their offense. Brooks stands up top, high pick and roll. Cam drives right. Euro step through traffic, had his way to the rim, but had it knocked away. And it will stay with the Cats underneath with 8.5 seconds left in the quarter. Quick substitution for Russellville as Coleman is going to come in. Temple Dickerson will come out with his 3 fouls.
I think if you're Russellville, I think you get Stovall out of the game in the last 8 seconds.
I agree with that. Ray will inbound. Checking his option, goes up top to Brooks. 8 seconds, 7. Deep on the left wing, down to 5. Gives it off to Ray. 3 seconds to work with. Couple of crossovers. Gets to the free throw line. Missed the jumper long. And Franklin Simpson, after the flurry to start the quarter from Cole Scherer, only score 9 in the frame, but they only give up 11. A 10-point halftime lead has been trimmed to 8. 40-32, the Cats lead it as we head into the final quarter after this on 92.3 WFKN. We can do a minute. We've got 8 minutes left to go of game time here at Franklin Simpson High School. 8 minutes left to go to figure out whose season will continue, not just to Friday night's district championship, but whose season will continue to EA Diddle Arena and the 4th region tournament. Franklin Simpson leads Russellville 40-32. The Panthers have possession as we get the quarter underway. Jameer Brooks nearly got a deflected pass, but McCage comes up with it in the corner, then gets it right back. 2-2 McCage, the star, playing injured for Russellville. Scoreless so far as Noah Stovall has picked up a good amount of the slack. He misses a right elbow jumper. Jamarian Gardner's picked up the rest of the slack. He scored 12 in the first half, was scoreless in the second half until he buried that left side 3 to cut the lead to 5.
Offensive rebounding, you got to straighten up on that. You did a great job in the third quarter of really matching Russellville rebounding the basketball. You can't give that up now.
Cole Scherer leads Franklin Simpson with 14, but he's on the bench with 4 fouls. Ja'Kai Partinger has 6. Cam Ray has 5. Xavier Hampton has 6 as well with a couple of three-pointers in the second quarter. Kai pulls up from 16 just beyond the free throw line. Missed the jumper short. Rebounded by Darden. Here comes Russellville. McCage down the left side to Gardner. Right back to 2-2 McCage. Stovall at the free throw line, guarded by Easton Kelly to Coleman, right corner 3. Rattles off, no. Ja'Kai Partinger comes out of the fray with the rebound, and a jump ball called as he's tied up, and the arrow sends it to Franklin Simpson.
And that was a big possession because if that 3 goes down, I mean, the lead gets cut to 2, and if you're Franklin Simpson, you got to come up with something offensively, and I think that's why Coach Spencer has brought in Alan Johnson.
He'll take Easton Kelly's spot, who hit a big mid-range jumper, a deep one about 2 feet inside the three-point line in that third quarter. Cats had just 9 points. Cole had 5 of them right out the gates. Brooks to inbound, tries to go to Ray, but he threw it past him. Russellville the other way. Stovall goes up strong, and he's fouled by Jameer Brooks. And that's Jameer's third foul. And Cam Ray is telling Jameer a combination of, A, let's clean up the inbound, and B, you don't have to jump to contest that. I'm trying to draw a charge.
I think if you're Franklin, if he makes these free throws, I think you call a timeout and kind of get with your team.
I agree.
Because you can't allow, you haven't scored a point, and that would have made it a 5-0 run for Russellville.
Stovall makes the first. He's 3 for 3 at the free throw line tonight. As a team, they're 9 for 11. Misses the second, and Ja'Kai Partinger gets another rebound. For now, the lead is 40-36. We played 1 minute and 15 seconds in this fourth quarter. Kai, pressured by McCage, nearly lost it, gets it back. Right wing, McCage all over him, and now they call a reach.
He was very handsy with them, and they were letting him play for a little bit, but I think just got too much action down low.
And with that, Coach Spencer's seen enough. Cole Scherer is going to come back in the ball game with his 4 fouls. Xavier Hampton is the one to come out. Jamarion Gardner comes back in for Russellville as well, still playing with his 3 fouls that he picked up in the first half. We'll see how much offense-defense Coach plays with Cole, as the Wildcats have it with 6:30 left in the ball game, up by 4. Partinger sends it over to Ray in the right corner. Looks to go to work against Gardner. Gets to the right block, fakes once, kicks it out. Scherer is wide open for 3. Missed it long. Ray skies to get the rebound on the block to Johnson from the left corner. Pushed it long. Rebound contested. Brooks fighting for it. Scherer comes out of the fray, and he's fouled trying a putback jumper. 2 free throws on the way for Cole Scherer. We talked about how important offensive rebounds are, and there, Franklin Simpson just scrapped and clawed their way to a couple.
And that was big right there because you slow this game down a little bit. You get back, and you also allow a substitution if Cole does make the second one.
First one doesn't get the bounce. Cole 0 for 2 at the line in this ballgame, a 71% shooter on the season. I mentioned earlier, it finally clipped past Cam for the team lead in that department. If Cole makes the second, Easton Kelly will take his spot. He does. So Cole Scherer will come out with those 4 fouls, does his job on offense. The lead up to 5, 41-36, 6:11 left to go as Easton Kelly comes in defensively. And the Cats are in that 2-3. And Easton Kelly, how about this? The 5'11 sophomore down at the bottom in the middle of that 2-3. Right side, Coleman has an open look for 3. He missed it. Johnson fighting for the rebound. Jump ball will be called quickly, and that will keep it with Russellville.
And I think if you're Alan Johnson, you have to crash the boards right there. The shot is taken on your side of the court. You have to automatically crash and not allow even a contested rebound.
McCage leaves it for Coleman on the baseline. Inside is found from behind. It looked like the shot may have been blocked by Kelly, but instead they say that he hit Coleman on the arm. And Jarius Coleman, who on the season is averaging 7.7 points per game, will have a chance to get his first point of this ball game at the free throw line. He struggled against Franklin Simpson this year, just scored 3 the first game, was scoreless the second game, but does get his first point of this one as the free throw falls. As I mentioned, this is what they do. They like to get to the line. 18.5 free throw attempts per game on the season. That's how a big part of why they beat Franklin Simpson last year in the district tournament. They went 21 for 27 at the stripe in their only district win of this season against Todd County. They took 27 free throws as well, made 18 of them. This will be attempt number 14, so the Cats have done a pretty good job in that department as it misses, and the rebound is picked up by Cam Ray. Cole Scherer is back in for Franklin Simpson offensively. Ray all the way to the rim. Call is a charge. Cam gets a taste of his own medicine there as Coleman got back and got set, and Cam picked up the offensive foul. And quickly, Easton Kelly is going to come back in for Cole.
And that was it was a good call, too. Cameron had full head of steam, great positioning.
I like how there was Easton goes to come in. And I love how there's any question about who he's coming in for.
And, Cole sits right at the end of the bench and waiting to get right back in the next possession.
Hey, Coach Spencer looks at his guys and said, we got a rebound. 4-point game, 41-37, 5.5 minutes left. This is exactly the game we thought it would be. Darden, kick out, Coleman looks down low. It's knocked away from Stovall. Darden gets it back. His left-handed layup misses. Stovall gets the offensive rebound away from everyone, and then he's fouled trying the putback. Again against Easton Kelly.
And the foul trouble is really getting to Franklin Simpson right now. Not having Colin there, you lose that strength down low to rebound.
Well, and now his defensive sub has 3 fouls. He's got 3. Cole Scherer's got 4. As Stovall makes the first free throw. He's now 4 for 5 at the line tonight. Scherer comes back in. Kelly comes out. And for the final 5:21 of this game, Russellville already will be in the bonus.
And Franklin right now in this possession desperately needs something on the offensive end. With that one free throw, that's the only points they put up as the free throw goes down.
We saw a 10-point halftime lead dwindle down to 8 coming into this quarter, and it's down to 2. Johnson struggles to get it in, but finally does to Cam Ray. Right side pressured by McCage, who knocks it out of bounds on the sideline.
And right now, Tutu, even though he's not scoring, he is really locking in on defense.
And he's trying to get his guys to follow his lead.
And that's what happened last year. I mean, he was one of those catalysts. He
took over with the energy.
Exactly.
Right corner, Allen Johnson drives in, tries a mid-range jumper, and Allen hits the 2.
And he's such a great threat from 3 that they immediately jumped.
Coach Todd takes a timeout for Russellville, probably stunned after the 4th 2-pointer of the season for Allen Johnson. Makes it 43-39. Like you said, the Wildcats needed a response. Everything tonight has been unconventional. It's going to be unconventional for the rest of this game with 5 minutes left to go. Again, injury issues with no Brody McAllister because of a concussion. That is multiplied with Logan Morris going down with a knee injury a minute and a half into this ball game. He has not returned as he's been sitting over by Courtney Bant for at least the entirety of this second half. And obviously when he first went back, they've checked on him. We'll try to get more information on that as we can, when we can. Couple that with the foul trouble. There was more in the first half. It was spread out more in the first half. And in the second half, it's become Cole with his 4 fouls that he's been playing through. Now, Easton Kelly was subbing in for him defensively. He's back in with 3 fouls at the bottom of that 2-3 zone. And Franklin Simpson clinging to a 4-point lead as we get set to come out of this timeout.
And it's hard right now with the personnel. I mean, it's hard to play right now because right now Russellville is scoring a lot of the points in this zone, getting it to Noah.
Oh. They try to do it again as Temple Dickerson tried to leave it for Stovall. His pass was deflected, nearly went out of bounds, but then he saved it. Now to Darden on the left elbow. His jumper misses, rebound deflected, ends up with McCage, misses the putback. Brooks lost a rebound, but Pardinger again is the one to come up with it, and he's fouled. That goes against Temple Dickerson. It's his 4th. And Cole Scherer will come back in. 3rd foul on Russellville. Like we mentioned, Cats already have 4, so Russellville is in the bonus for the final now 4:40 of this game.
And I think right now, if you're going to, they usually try to inbound the ball to Cameron on this little four wide out kind of play. You got to do a great pass right here if you're going to get it to him.
They line up all the players on the baseline, then have them streak down the floor, and some of them curl back, some of them keep going. This time, Ja'Kai curls back to get it and brings it across half court. Right side, Jameer Brooks, very quiet night. He had foul trouble in the first half, had 9 points, a career high against Glasgow on Friday, is scoreless tonight. He has it on the left wing, being pressured tightly by Nurse. Wraps to the top, now sends it over left side, Scherer. Escapes with a dribble to the right side, now sends it over to Cam. Came to set a screen, Cam waving him off, but Cole stays there. Now sets the screen anyways. Cam drives left, goes up into Stovall, flips it up, gets the foul, can't finish, but it's the 4th foul against Noah Stovall.
And a
technical foul called as well. If that's against Stovall, he's done.
They did. He was mouthing off to the ref, and the Russellville stands do not like that whatsoever.
Noah Stovall picked up his 4th foul against Ray, and then he gets the technical foul after the fact to compound the issue, and his night finished.
And he was a pivotal part of this game. I mean, he was more or less creating so much offense with and without the ball because of the focus of being of him in the paint.
He'll finish with 17 points. And more importantly, in this second half, of the 18 points that they've scored, he had 10 of them. But Cam Ray will go to the line for the technical free throws. The first of which misses long. To our right, the 4 other Wildcats huddled together. Jarius Coleman joined the huddle for Russellville.
Love the gamemanship.
Him and Coach Spencer laughing it off as Cam's second rattles home. He's now got 6. He and Ja'Kai Partinger, the 2 leading scorers, both averaging double figures, both in double figures, both games against Russellville in the regular season. They've only got 6 points apiece. And now it will be Ja'Kai that steps up to take the 2 technical free throws. Takes his deep breath, now bends and fires and misses the first long. Cats giving away points here at the free throw line.
Yeah, they need to start making these free throws, especially them being in the bonus now. You got to start racking these points up.
So with 4:01 left in the game, Noah Stovall fouls out with a shooting foul and then a technical foul right after. As Partinger's second misses as well, and the Cats go 1 for 4 at the line, but they will get the ball back thanks to the technical foul.
Again, a big loss for Stovall being out of the game. He was so good down in the post defensively and offensively.
We'll see if that results in Tutu McCage coming to life offensively. Scoreless so far, but his Panthers only down 5, 44-39. We tick under 4 minutes left in the ball game. Scherer on the right wing. Gives it to Johnson in the corner. Trying to hit Ray on a cut, and it's knocked away and stolen. Here comes Nurse the other way. Gets inside, floats it up over Brooks, missed it, and it's rebounded by Jameer as well. 3 defenders around him, gets rid of it to Ray, and he'll bring it across half court himself.
And a great job by Jameer not fouling, but still contesting.
That was a 1-on-3 defensively for Jameer. Nurse kept it himself and couldn't convert. Under 3.5 minutes left now. And the Wildcats are going to take a timeout. Coach Spencer didn't like what he was seeing early on there. And they'll come out with something different out of this break. 3:20 left in the ball game, 44-39. Franklin Simpson leads it. Russellville had stormed back and cut it down to a 1-possession game. But now Noah Stovall out the rest of the way. Both sides have dealt with some amount of foul trouble, but there we just saw it compile all within a matter of seconds. And you know that it was probably the right call because Stovall had contested some of his fouls throughout the game with the officials. The technical foul he did not contest at all.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's just a big foul. Emotions are high.
Yes.
You know, this is the game that it's win or go home. It's not like the district championship game where if you lose this game, your season's over. And, you know, Stovall, a great player in his own right, came back and has really impacted this team. But, again, if you're Franklin Simpson, now you have to capitalize. You're coming out of the timeout. This is when you run your money play. I don't know if they're going to want to waste time off the clock or get a good score, but nonetheless, out of a timeout, you need to score in the possession.
We'll know if they're going to waste clock because they'll come out with that triangle up at the top of the key.
Yep.
Which, again, the Wildcats functioning late with a different lineup than normal. They've settled in with the 5 of Scherer, Johnson, Brooks, Ray, and then Ja'Kai Partinger. With no Brody McAllister, Kai gets the inbound from Johnson. It was knocked away off the backboard by McCage. Ja'Kai got it back, and then he's fouled underneath by McCage, who is irate.
And that's 2 more free throws for Ja'Kai. I mean, as long as you make these, that's a good possession.
So Ja'Kai will have 2 after missing the 2 technical free throws. The Wildcats started the game 6 for 9 at the free throw line. They are 2 for 6 in this quarter. Kai bends and fires up the first and makes it this time. Now the Wildcats fill out the lane. They had all dropped back into the backcourt. Xavier Hampton comes in defensively for Allen Johnson. We thought we'd see this lineup a little bit more tonight. And this is the time when it gets utilized.
And surprisingly, I guess if Jakai makes this, maybe that's when they switch Cole. I was surprised they didn't just go ahead and do it.
Easton Kelly will come in, and Jakai does make the second free throw. Kai's up to 8. The lead is at 7, 46-39, and that I think a fortunate break might have just been forgotten about at first, Cole's foul issues, but a good pickup to get Easton back in with 3:15 left to go in a 46-39 game. Gardner brings it across half court. He had 12 points in the first half, just 3 here in the second half. Gets inside, kicks it out right corner. Darden 3. Misses long. McCage an offensive rebound. Pushed his putback long and then wrapped up down low with Hampton. He goes down to the floor. Fouled hard by McCage. And they're going to clean this up pretty quickly. I think Tutu might have tripped up and then fell into Hampton. I don't know if there was any malintention at first. It was hard to tell from our angle. We're going to see how they clear this up and who's called for what in that spot. It's going to be, I believe, a foul against Russellville and Franklin Simpson basketball with 3:01 left to go in a 46-39 game. Cats leading it. Officials still discussing. Gives both team a free timeout if nothing else.
And I think if you're both coaches, you're telling your team
and
to
now they
settle
just call
down.
a jump ball.
I think that was the right call. It didn't look like there was much contact when they were just fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
And when the ball's up in the air, it's anyone's game per se.
It just seemed like to me with the speed of the whistle, it was going to be a foul against Russellville, but I believe what happened was the speed of the whistle was to prevent anything more from happening, and unfortunately it still happened anyways. But the Cats get it from the jump ball with 3 minutes left to go. Jakai Partinger gets the inbound with ease. Russellville now trapping full court. Cam Ray brings it across half court on the right side, being pressured by Gardner. Cam gets around him inside. Kick out Johnson. Right corner 3. Yes!
And talk about a timely 3.
Left side. Nurse misses the layup. He's still down after the fact. And then after the rebound, Cam is called for a travel. He thought he was fouled.
Yeah, I mean, he was bumped after he got the ball.
There was contact for sure. Nurse is wiping he hit the ground hard. He's wiping his eye with the jersey. After all of that, it's turned into chaos. It's really been a heavily officiated game in the second half, particularly in this fourth quarter. It is Russellville ball. The Cats have a 10-point lead after the three-pointer from Johnson. 3 misfired by Gardner. Is chased down by Hampton in the corner. He throws a jump ball underneath the Russellville basket, and it's tipped right to McCage, who gets a free layup. His first bucket of the night with 2:20 left. Kai trying to inbound, needs an option, finally gets it into Scherer. Hands to Ray. Sprints across half court. Cam drives into McCage. What's the call? A charge. It would have been the 4th on McCage. There, Cam, just a little out of control.
And I think if you're Franklin, you're telling your players, we don't need points right now. We're up by 8. We need to waste time off the clock and really not turn the ball over.
The McCage layup cuts it from 10 to 8. Back to where we started this fourth quarter. Gardner, hesitation dribble, gets inside. Fouled by Brooks, and 1. That's the 4th on Jameer. And all of a sudden, Russellville, seemingly a minute ago, with no more Stovall dead to rights, they've got a chance to cut this to a 5-point game.
And that was a bad foul. I mean, that's not the time to try to go for a block.
That's the second time in this game in particular where you can have a coaching moment with Jameer. And I say you can have a coaching moment. There have been several of these coaching moments over the course of the season because he wants to go up and contest those shots. But the smart play is to set and try to take the charge.
Exactly, yeah.
Gardner waiting to get the ball from one official, another still talking with the Russellville bench. Now we'll get back underway as Gardner will have a free throw. Missed it. Scherer tips the rebound, and Jakai Partinger up with it. Still a 6-point game, 49-43, under 2 minutes left. Kai lost it, and it's tipped out by Gardner, fortunately to stay with Franklin Simpson with 1 minute and 55 seconds left in this ball game.
And if you're Franklin Simpson, you got to realize also you don't have as much time to get across now if you wasted a couple seconds, so you have to get the ball across timely.
Inbound will come in from the corner. Johnson trying to find an option, gets it into Hampton. He's bumped into the Russellville bench. They don't call a foul, and instead they say Nurse's shoves driving in, so he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
It seems like when the ball is on the off-ball plays, they're letting them really play and do anything, but then whenever a player has the ball for either team, the foul is just immediately being called.
Actually, it's Temple Dickerson that was the one that eventually came up with it and will go to the line for 2 free throws. He made 2 in the third quarter, has 4 points. First free throw misses. Both teams letting themselves down at the line in this fourth quarter.
And right now I have 4 for 8 for Russellville, where beforehand they were shooting 8 for 10 in the first 3 quarters.
Both teams have missed 4 free throws. Second one up, airmail to the left side. And that will give it to Franklin Simpson without having to get the rebound.
And, I'm surprised that they're not having Cameron inbound the ball and then come back to it. He's their best passer, and right now they're just not getting a good answer of finding the way in.
Johnson's the one tasked to do it. He gets it into Cam, deep in the quarter, right in front of the Russellville bench. Franklin Simpson has to take a timeout. That is the worst place to get the inbound in at. And then a technical foul is called after the play. Are they going to get that on Darden? He was chirping it up with Ray back and forth. After the timeout was called, Cam did the smart thing, walked away. Darden chirped, and a second technical foul is called against a Russellville player.
But even then, I'm a Franklin favorite till I die, but I don't think Darden was really chirping at Cameron. I think he was getting amped up for the defense.
I think he was chirping himself up after that. That's why I say Cam walked away. So if it was directed at Cam, it was pretty pointless. I agree with you. I think he was doing it to himself because Cam was out of the area. And while they were going back and forth, they probably were chirping at each other. And regardless, for a second time, the Cats missed both technical free throws.
And they are 4 for 10 in the quarter on free throws. I mean, that's 6 extra points that basically puts this game away.
Now, the foul that was actually committed, Johnson goes up and makes the first free throw, which...
So I wonder if they'll give them the timeout or not.
Well, now as the second free throw falls, what must have happened in all of that, the foul was called before the timeout.
Okay.
Had to be the ruling. One official signaled for the timeout, and I guess the other signaled for the foul before it. So the Cats get the 2 free throws from Allen Johnson, which actually serve as the technical free throws because Cam's would have been for the foul, and they lead at 51-43 with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. Partinger at midcourt gives it to Cam Ray on the right wing. Drives, now loops back around to the left side. Evades a steal attempt with a behind-the-back dribble. Gets all the way to the rim, and he's hacked from behind.
And that was a good possession because they wasted time off the clock, not going for an immediate shot. But when the lane was wide open and Cameron had the lane, you go ahead and take that layup.
So to get all that cleared up, we thought that Franklin Simpson had got a timeout call because the official in front of us gave the Wildcats the timeout. But just before that, a reach-in foul was called. Cam Ray got 2 free throws for that. Temple Dickerson called for a technical after the fact, as Cam again misses the first of these 2 free throws.
And I think Cameron's in his own head right now. He's kind of complaining to himself as he misses the free throw.
He is now 4 for 9 at the free throw line for a 70% shooter on the season. This will be the 4th time this year he's had 10 free throws in a game. Back-to-back games he'll have done it, and he gets the second of these 2 to go. It has not been pretty, but the Cats have extended that lead out to 9, 52-43.
We're in deep waters here. I'm surprised. I think they're going to go to 2-2 here for the last minute and a half, trying to find a big shot.
It's got to be him or Gardner. Right now, Darden has it up top. Coleman drives, gives to McCage, guarded by Ray. Gets a screen. Kelly switches on. McCage, step back 3, fouled by Kelly. That's the second time he thought he had a clean block, but I think even if he had blocked the shot, he got up in the area to where McCage wasn't able to land.
Yeah, if you're going to contest, you have to clear space in the landing zone of the offensive player, and, that's a bad foul because that's 3 free throws for a team that, it's been drawn dead on the offensive end from the free throw line, and you give them a fighting chance.
McCage makes the first free throw. He's a 66% shooter on the season, averaging around 5 attempts per game. These will be his first 3 tonight, just 2 points so far coming in this fourth quarter before these free throws. Misses the second. And again, I think the theme for both sides, all the points given up at the charity stripe.
Right now, if you're Franklin Simpson, you have to end down the ball and not turn the ball over immediately.
Minute 16 left. McCage's second rattles off as well. Way with the rebound on the baseline. Splits through a double team. Up ahead, Johnson all alone. Missed the layup, or do they get a goaltend against McCage? They do.
And you know what? I think Allen was going to miss that layup too. It looked like it was going to be a little bit long.
It was off, and McCage came in and got a hand on it anyways.
And I think he said that as Allen walked by our table. I think he said he was going to miss it too.
But it counts as 2 points for Allen, who has pieced together a fantastic quarter with 9 points. He's up to 13. Right side, Kean Graham for the first time for Russellville. He misses a three-pointer. Partinger gets the rebound, gives it to Scher, and McCage fouls him from behind with 54.8 seconds left to go in a 54-44 game.
And you know, with all of the stuff happening right now in this game, Franklin Simpson has outscored Russellville 14-12. You would think by the momentum and kind of the way the game has flowed that Russellville has
all
really
the
put up
free
points.
throws.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other side of that for Franklin Simpson, we mentioned Alan Johnson. He's got all the field goals in the quarter for the Wildcats. As Scherer can't get the bounce on the first free throw. The Cats cannot buy a shot at the charity stripe. And here, Coach Phil Todd is going to wave the white flag and empty his bench with 55 seconds left to go. An exasperated 2-2 McCage walking off with a jersey over his face. What a career he's had here at Russellville. Averaging nearly 20 points per game this season. Hit that mark 12 times this year. Gets injured down the stretch. Misses the last 2 regular season games. Could only muster up 3 points here tonight. And the Wildcats, out of all that, are going to escape with a win. Scherer's second free throw on the way. Doesn't get to bounce. It's short. Rebounded by Hampton. His putback no good. Brooks has another try. He's fouled, and he'll have 2 free throws. Maybe it's Jameer that can break through and find a way to shatter through the glass seal that apparently we can't see that's on top of that rim.
I know you've been talking to Coach Spencer all year long about free throw shooting, and tonight it's going to be a long conversation. 13 for 25, 14 for 26 as a team.
Yeah, Jameer makes the first. Alan Johnson and Ja'Kai Partinger are the only Cats to go up there and make a pair of them in this quarter. But Jameer is able to join that club. Cam was 2 for 6, Cole 1 for 4. But now it's 56-44 with 45 seconds left to go. Russellville again with a bench unit out there. Braxton Coleman, the younger of those two, into the ball game. Sends it out in the right corner. Gray misses a 3. Easton Kelly up with it for Franklin Simpson, and Coach Spencer tells his Wildcats to hold up. We'll see if they're allowed to just dribble it out. I would assume that Coach Todd, for as long as he's been around, all his experience, all his district championships, a 7-time district champion between 1990 and 2004, won the region 3 times. His 3rd year back with the Panthers, got an upset win over Franklin Simpson on their home floor last year. But tonight, the Wildcats get revenge. And they're headed to the district championship game on Friday night. They're headed to the region tournament inside Diddle Arena, avenging themselves from a year ago when they won every game in the district in the regular season. This time they go 5-1. They drop down to the 2 seed, and maybe that's the magic spot as the Cats win 56-44, surviving the 4th quarter onslaught from Russellville to pick up their 10th win of the season and punch their ticket to keep their season alive. Again, your final score, 56-44. Franklin Simpson takes it here tonight over Russellville. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you all the final numbers from this one. We'll chat with Coach Spencer on a night where Franklin Simpson was already down a starter. They lose one more along the way. Somehow, someway, survive and advance. The mantra for the Wildcats is one more time they win it, 56-44. Your post-game show on the way after this on 92.3 WFKN.